Alright guys, Nathan Cox here, still talking about bicycles. So we're going to try to take this step by step and make specific specific videos to address all the different areas of the bicycle. So let's talk about adjusting the handlebars. Now some of them you really can't adjust much. If you've got the head that's kind of like a much bigger round and it's got two Allen wrenches on the side, Allen wrench bolts, and then one on top, that really doesn't adjust for height at all, at least not the ones I have seen. Okay, this one here is one of your more common ones you're going to find from a big box store. It's a simpler head, older fashioned head unit. It doesn't hold together as tight for doing rough mountain biking, but it does have an advantage to being adjusted. Let me show you. Again, for those of you who might have clicked directly on this video, I do have in the description down below links to all the videos in this series, okay? We're going to take this big Allen wrench right here. You're going to want a big separate Allen wrench for this, not one of the ones out of the folding tools. I do love those little folding tools. They're very organized, very easy to keep track of them, but they don't give you the torque you can get on just a old-fashioned long Allen wrench. So you're going to loosen this up. There we go. Okay? Alright, let's loosen this up. Alright, I guess a little bit more. Might have to tap her down. Sometimes she sticks in there. Alright, hold on a second. Okay, believe it or not, every once in a while you do need a hammer when you work on things. Sometimes things stick. Alright, I got a mallet here. We need there's a expandable plate in here which holds it all together. And it needs, there we go. It was just sticking. Sometimes that happens, especially if you have an older bike, and this bike's been through a little bit. As you can see here, the handlebars immediately twisted around here. So that is the single bolt that holds these two together. Your tire or front forks align with your neck. Okay, and from here you can also lift it up. And there's a little bit of range. Now hopefully you can see that in the video. There's these little dashed lines, and that is the maximum range for this handlebar set. Okay, so you actually don't want to see those. I'm going to go ahead and lift those up a little bit on this one here. Kind of slightly snug this up a little bit. Oops. Okay, everything's going to fight me. Alright, there we go. See, like I'm saying here, there we go, snug it up enough where I can get it back in front of me, and I can make sure that the neck and the tire are straight in line with each other, and then tighten it up. Now some of you, while I'm doing this, are probably wondering, what's this big nut down here for? Well, that actually holds together the inner frame that connects because your tube from your forks come up, and then the tube from your nut go into it, and then you have your bearings. So this big nut here, which is kind of loose, it doesn't need to be very tight. Actually, it needs to be tighter than that, but you can lightly tighten that up with a big crescent wrench. That just holds the bearings and everything together, okay? Your bigger nut, this is actually a nut here, it looks like a big washer. That actually tightens down and puts the pressure against the bearings, but you don't want too much. And then this nut here locks it all together, okay? It does not, this nut does not keep the tire and the handlebars together, alright? That's all about for the bearings. Alright, so now it's tight, and see, it's not going anywhere. Next, the other adjustment is right here. Trying to get that in my pocket, guys, sorry. Alright, I'm doing this upside down, so you have to forgive me. I get it backwards. Everyone does. Let me loosen this up. Alright. It would be faster with a socket and a ratchet, but oh well, this is what I had. Alright, now look. You see now the handlebar rotates like this. Alright, that controls that. So after you're sitting on the bike, adjusting the height, you also kind of want a position where this feels good. Everyone's a little bit different, but generally, I mean, of course, they're going to come up And depending on where you sit on your bike, maybe you want them kind of coming back a little bit. Most of the time it's going to be a little bit forward. That's going to be more common, is of course up, you don't want them rolling down, but then forward just a few degrees. And you can kind of feel what feels comfortable there. Now you don't want to get crazy on this. I don't have a big old 1/2-inch ratchet or extension bar or something like that. I just have a wrench. But it does need to be tight because you don't want that coming loose and someone rolling the handlebars forward while they're making a hard break, okay? So we've adjusted, I'll show you how to adjust the neck for the handlebars, to raise or lower it, to line it up with the tire, what actually makes it tight. This down here, like I said, doesn't make it tight, it just holds the bearings together. So if you get a big wrench on this and you're cranking it down because you think that this is going to hold the tire and the neck straight, it doesn't. And you're just going to damage the bearings. So do not put a giant wrench on that nut. And we adjust it up here, which actually holds the handlebars into the neck. Alright guys, thanks again for hanging out with me through the video. In the description down below, there'll be clickable links to the entire video series, along with my website, greatwhiteninja.com, which I'll have a page dedicated for bike maintenance and repair. Please subscribe to the channel, and thanks again.